ready for your punishment, slave.
I sometimes scream out, no. When really they mean yes.
Yes, yes!
And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
She's not a Christian!
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
A physical comedy bit. Like you're gonna
Check.
Like eyes taped like an Asian man or something.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Work Podcast. My guest today here on a Wednesday night in Hamilton on a amateur night here at Yuck Yucks is Mayce Galoni,
Hello.
Josh Kemp,
That's me.
and you guys, you do comedy
Yep, we
Yeah.
do.
as a group or separately?
Separately. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Separately.
Yeah.
Do you guys are probably a little sick and tired of getting grouped together constantly because of your age?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we get grouped together too much, but we.
Well, when
we-
I'm having sexual fantasies about you guys, I always think of you guys holding
Well,
each other.
naturally, yeah.
But oddly enough, in the dream, though, Josh is very aggressive. And you're crying
Yeah.
always at the end with your glasses on the end of your dick doing Groucho Marx impressions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a fantasy. That's every time I have sex.
Oh, yeah, you had a girlfriend for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got to talk into this fucking microphone or am I going to start throwing chairs? People are always, you got to talk into it.
We're trying to.
Yeah, inside of it.
Our faces have to be uncomfortably
Yeah.
close right now.
Why does it look like you guys got a shiv between the two of you? And you're like, it's scary being back here with me. I've been around me. It's horrible.
We're close together for safety right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's like a
Warmth.
block parent gone amok. You've run into the wrong house, you little bastards. Gotcha. Who wants Skittles and tears?
I
But
just
you-
want the tears.
You're from Hamilton,
Yep.
and Mayce, you're also from Hamilton.
Yep.
And what you went to school here?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we both went to high school, and we both we both went to the same high school at different times.
Oh,
but-
you guys went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Ah,
We
all
both
right.
went to Hillfield Strathallan College.
Did you guys
Let's
compare
not
war
promo it.
stories about the teachers that overlapped your years that you were in there? Or?
Some of them. Some of them.
Yeah.
Miss Weber? Or should we not? I guess we shouldn't
I
say
wouldn't be
their
calling
names.
these. Actually,
No,
a lot
he's
of
a
this.
good teacher. There's some terrible teachers, though. There is.
There's it's good that you recognize that because you're sometimes like it's a form of kind of brainwashing when you're lying your education and your future, your trust in these people, and some of them don't give a fuck. They like to resent the fact that you show up.
Yeah. This one teacher I had, she just took everything too seriously. Well, I don't know. I guess that's not a bad thing because she's trying to
Like manic, like explosive,
explosive
out of
rage.
context.
Yeah, just like she would just like be stern all the time, and then I would like wouldn't do homework a lot, but she would get really mad about that, and the level of anger wouldn't make sense to me. Like I get why she would have a problem with it.
You know why? Because her husband beats the shit out of her. That's why, because she doesn't know when to shut up. And she can unload it because a group of teenagers are not going to really argue with her. But when she goes home, buckle end out, and it's fucking hammer time. It's the only thing that keeps the old guy's dick hard.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Don't bring your fucking
Hey.
religious horse shit down here.
No, I think God must be a gay homosexual, probably.
He was when I fucked him. Legs behind the head.
He's got to be a transgender, something like that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Right in
otherwise
the
it's
old
no fun.
halo.
Yeah.
Let's just say it wasn't golden when I was done.
Yeah.
It was covered in shit and blood, Josh.
That's the only way to do it, I guess.
It
That would
is, I
be-
guess. I've started a pop-up book once at the library. What?
I think I have the same book.
But you've been doing comedy now for how long, Mayce?
6 years.
6 years, Josh.
A year and like a couple months. I'm bad at math.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you been kind of keeping? I know when I first started for the first 2 or 3 years, I kept a little journal, and it was just pretty basic. It was more or less just dates and the venues and the cities, and if I had made a little bit of money, I would have put a little quotation there or something like that. And I saw kind of where I was going and how long the progress was taking. And people have, like, I've shown the book to a couple of comedians where they're like, oh, I'm going to get into comedy and blah, 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 blah. And I show them the book and I go, this is the best case scenario. Okay? Now look, 0, 0. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of back and forth from Toronto. As you guys are, it looks like you're starting to do that now, Josh.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you still, even though you're getting some bookings now, you got to go in the city and do a few gigs in some of the major spots and keep your face in the public eye.
Oh yeah. Well, what I do is I train out to Toronto a lot. I take the train. Recently, I just stopped paying for tickets because they don't check your tickets, and it's like $20 just for a one-way there with my buddy. So we take the train down. I don't pay for it. I'm like, fuck that shit. They can come at me. Who's gonna come for you? I imagine like one of those guys that looks like he's Harry Potter. Like
You're 15 though. We talked about this. They
Yeah.
will shoot me through the window.
yeah.
You can fake a tear, and my grandmother committed suicide in the basement. You can lay it on. He's laughing. You fucking
It's
six.
true.
And you can go in actor mode. Me, I'm just not in the face.
Yeah. Just usually.
That's cool.
Yeah, what I do from there, I take the train. Then when I get off, I just fucking walk around Toronto, and hopefully I don't get stabbed. You're dodging knives until you reach the comedy club.
Yeah,
whatever.
there is a bit of a gauntlet. Do you just go straight up, Yonge Street, and then turn left onto
Yeah.
Richmond? Yeah, you go because then you're at least in the traffic of business people. Some of those
Yeah.
side streets you go in, it's like what kind of zombie is this? What kills this one?
my God.
A bottle of whiskey, a
Sounds
pack
like
of
Brantford.
smokes. Is Brantford?
Brantford looks
sketchy?
like zombies took over a while ago.
Is there a drug problem in Brantford?
No, it just looks like zombies took. It's probably all coke. Like I seen someone pass around an 8-ball at a show one time.
Really?
Yeah,
At a
it's-
comedy show, cocaine and comedy never go well together.
Nope.
Never go well together. Like Taco Bell and anal. It's just a
I
bad.
don't know about that one.
You guys. You like a little muddy in the back? Huh? On the old shit whiskers?
I heard Kanye West does.
Is he
according to
in the
Mayce.
anal play? Is that the big
I don't
stink
know.
about? No, sorry.
Mayce is better at this story. He was,
Yeah, Mayce. Tell us about Kanye West's anal play.
Yeah.
That was between him and me. I can't share that. He likes Taco Bell. Josh is. I just want to say we're talking about like doing gigs all over. Josh is like 15 years old and really good at like hitting a bunch of rooms, and you're really working hard at it. And I don't know. When did you meet Josh?
We've never met. No, I don't know. I think I've seen him around a little bit.
And you've seen him do stand up now, right?
Yeah, I actually paid attention when he was in Toronto. It was great. He has an act.
Really, he has
That's
an
what
act.
I told Jessica. I said he has an act. A lot of guys don't have an act.
Yeah. And like, okay,
You have
most-
jokes. You have jokes.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to write a joke.
I know it's terrible sometimes. Like I'll watch and I'm like, how do you not understand that the audience isn't responding to this? Like,
Yes.
I get it from
There's a
my
gear
first show.
missing.
I'm like, this isn't working. Like, okay, this is how kids respond to like being a comedian. If you're another kid, they're like, oh, you're not even funny. I watched it, and I'm like, your mom hits you. Fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
what do you? They're just trying to like fucking whatever. They're trying to download all their shit onto you just because you're doing something and they're sitting on their couch playing fucking Call of Duty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really baked, so I missed that last part. From the top, what was it?
It's like that kids, they just don't give a fuck. Like you tell them you're in comedy, they're like, oh, whatever, you're probably not even funny. I'm like, come to one of the shows.
They probably think of it like a hobby.
Yeah.
And they look at it as like, oh, this is, it was a fashion phase or something like that. You'll be done with the idea of it. And plus it's not a team sport, so people are always going to challenge you anyway to do anything original and in a self-contained kind of creative environment.
Yeah, and with
Naysayers.
yeah,
Because it's so just you.
Yeah.
It's not. There's a lot of fucking. What do you call it when you're alone for long periods of time?
solitude.
Solitude, but more, it's more prison-like sometimes, because you'll be in certain places and stuff. But then the other times you're in paradise. Like there's a comedy festival in South Africa, and I think I've been maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
And you're in a 5-star hotel. You're on the beach. You've got a limousine. You're doing. They have an armed guard with you sometimes. 'Cause it can be in certain areas are quite dangerous, murderous, if you will. And then other times you're. I remember I did a gig in Liverpool, and the booker said I could stay at his place, and that might save me some money for the hotel. Well, the hotel. I would have begged for it back if I would have known where I was sleeping. And I kind of, it like someone had poured a fish tank out on the carpet and put some cheesecloth down. That's where I slept.
Yeah. I don't know why. I can sleep.
A lot
like
of
in
people
very-
listening going, you fucking deserve that, you piece of shit. You fingered my cat in '84.
You shit in my bathtub.
Have I shit in your
yesterday.
bathtub?
No, you haven't actually shit in my bathtub yet, but I feel like a lot
There's a
of people
rumor
can say
going
that.
around that I do that as a joke.
Rumor. There's video. There's a documentary where you shit in a bathtub.
I know.
You haven't shit in my bathtub. You've pulled your dick out in the back of my car.
Oh, maybe I couldn't find my lighter, and they had the same piercing, so.
It was on my bicycle too. It was weird. It was like,
I was sitting in the basket at the time.
yeah, it's an ET scenario.
But what's coming up? What do you guys got going on? What do you got planned for the summer? Just some
I don't know.
stages?
I'm probably gonna get out to Toronto like any night I can, and then I
Yeah.
can just sleep till 12 o'clock, and then just keep sleeping,
Yeah.
and then show, and then
Yeah.
sleep some more.
Yeah.
Just a cycle, and then it ends.
It
with
is.
suicide,
And
probably.
every night is Saturday night because you approach the night really the same way like you would do a Friday or a Wednesday is where's the show and how can I get on it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. And you don't drink either, right?
No.
That I think will be like.
It's 15.
Well,
smoke either.
some of them.
Some of them.
I don't know.
Look, you guys have already picked the team, you fucking
Oh my
assholes.
God.
What is this, Revenge
Fuck.
of the Nerds?
I've a lot of them, not some of them. It's like over
There you
80,
go.
70% at least.
Are-
over
are
80,
drunks and
probably.
smokers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. At this point, they.
Why are you looking me dead in the eye as you tell me this?
Because
You're like, he's got his finger in my chest right now going, these people.
Do you want me to have like a milky eye or something? Fucking chest? Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like all of them, they're all fucking potheads. They're like, hey, want to come smoke? Hey, want to drink? And I'm like, oh, I'm really tempted this time. I'm like, fucking no.
I want to hang out with 4 losers in an
Yeah,
alleyway.
obviously, you want
I
to.
can still hear you.
You want to get the herpes from the bottle, and
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that'll help you though, like, because then you can hang out. I feel like when you're not drinking, you can hang out long every night. Like you can stay up late every night and hang out
Oh,
with
yeah,
all the
and get up
comics.
at a decent hour and do
Exactly.
your
Yeah, you're
work.
not killed.
yeah, you remember
Yeah.
what you were doing the last night, not
Yeah.
like where the fuck was I?
Yeah.
Was the
I've-
show good? I don't remember.
I've lived on both sides of that.
Really?
Yes, from complete sobriety for like 6 years when I first started doing comedy. I knew that it was this full-time thing that you guys have
Yeah.
in your mind, and I was like, because it went from hanging out in nightclubs to comedy clubs, and to be in a professional environment and present and studying what was going on and how the mechanics of the whole business worked and performing and what have you. I knew that you couldn't dabble in it, especially coming into the game. People wouldn't really pay attention to you. This guy's a fuck up. And there's how many guys you know that have been on open mics for 10, 20 years,
my
some of them.
God.
And it's like, well, clearly if you a problem with substances, then you should kill yourself because
Yeah.
you're just not funny. Like, fuck it. So, but yeah, I've had, tears, loathing in Las Vegas stuff, and then things where I'm, skinless chicken breast and organic broccoli, and and sandalwood burning in the air, wearing a fucking, a silk gown with a ladyboy chained to a radiator with my shit all over his chest while he begs for mercy.
Oh yeah, typical Saturday night.
Typical.
Yeah, typical.
What do you kind of takeout? Do you get something for that?
Takeout?
Yeah, what do you get? You guys want to talk in this
Oh, right,
fucking
right.
microphone?
I'm trying to hold it for him.
No,
and
you
I-
guys look like
I-
you're sharing ice cream at a gay bar.
It's not ice cream.
Chocolate covered cocks.
Yep.
You just have to point the microphone to the guy's mouth when he's
Yeah.
talking.
You're right. You're right.
This is I didn't want to edit any of this, and now we got this shit. And now the worst part about it is you've got your hand on your hip like you're a disappointed parent. And he's
Yeah. I failed a midterm and now I'm all fucked up.
But you're in school.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Do you get well?
I just leave
it's-
sometimes. and I
yeah, I guess, right?
they don't really notice. You just make up a bullshit lie, and the teacher knows it's bullshit. But if you have a good enough bullshit reason, they can't really call you out on it.
Do they? Because again, you're in school and you're doing stand up. You're hanging out with a bunch of animals. You know, there's some really cool people and there's a lot of fuck ups. And then you go back to, you know, the structure of a classroom, and you're like, you don't know where I've been.
Yeah.
You're like a Vietnam
You're like-
vet. Have you ever been in a
These
car
fucking
when Manola's farting
Oh my god.
and try to put your head through?
That's hell. You don't even have to
It's
be in
the
a
worst.
fucking car. You
And
could
the
be in a
windows
room.
don't go down.
I know you could be in a room and the whole fucking room's
Yeah,
filled.
he
You're
is
on the
rotten.
other side of the room.
It's repulsive. And if you're a germaphobe, Mayce,
Yeah.
and you've got duvet dump, it just lays on your face. You're like,
I don't know. Makes you must have like some sort of like OCD or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
You said we weren't going to talk about this. And I got to go wash my hands 9 times.
I'm going to anyways.
Yeah.
I'm in the room with you.
That's
But
all right.
you hang out with a bunch of gross people and gross situations.
Dirty hygiene habits.
And just
dirty
moral habits.
Dirty. I'm quite contrary to some of my habits. I'm quite a tidy person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You'd be shocked. I can turn a whole hotel room into a hamster cage in 4 days, though. But when I'm at my own home and stuff, I'm on it.
Yeah. My room is like fucking organized chaos. That's all it really is. There's a stack of papers, but they're organized.
You know where they are.
Yeah. I know where everything is.
Is it all disheveled?
It's all fucked up. If you walked in there, you'd be like, I don't like who died here. Like,
Mayce's-
where's the plans for the school shooting? How do I get them out? Where's the
you
gun?
got maps on the walls with
Yeah.
X's over people in
Yeah.
your class.
It's only X's over.
Yeah.
You're fucking
Close
dead.
the door.
No, that's just how I like to keep my room. Just pictures of people who are they're not alive anymore. But that's not because of me.
You're like
that's not.
Your room is turned into a comedy lab.
Yeah, it looks like
Bunsen
a
burners and
workspace.
yeah, totally.
I've turned like
The bed is just there to get to the other stuff.
Yeah, it's just the bed's there for like nocturnal hibernation and
Yeah.
stuff.
And you write quite a lot, right?
Yeah, most of the day. I'd say at least 65% of the day I'm writing. At
No,
least.
you always have a job. I hate you.
I know. It's it's good and bad because like most of the day all I'm doing is I'm researching all this. I'm watching everything I can. If it's comedy, movies, not even a fucking
Yeah, and
comedy
you're in
movie.
a generation where you can exploit all that. You have a Rolodex
Yeah.
of the best, the live footage, all the rumored stuff that
Oh
you
my
thought was
God.
around. It's
I-
like, click, oh, there it is. I can see Prince and James Brown and Michael Jackson
Yeah.
perform on James Brown's birthday and
I
be
have
blown
seen
away.
like enough like media and like popular media that I could like pop culture. I've seen like a lot of it to the point where someone could say like, "How much have you seen?" And I could almost say all of it.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's
also too
sad.
because of the traction of certain things from the past go online and then take on a whole new
Yeah.
life. You getting to see the stuff that people remember.
I know. Sometimes like being a
You
comic,
got cut through all
it's
the
weird.
bullshit sitcoms of the '80s, and you know
Yeah.
some of them are popular because they're terrible.
yeah, some adults I'll be talking to them and be like, "What the fuck?" Because I'll mention some shit like that they wouldn't even think I'd know of. Like,
Yeah.
I'll mention like Nirvana or something, but like, how do you even know what that is?
Yeah.
Some kids, you could even say like, sometimes like the Terminator, they'd be like, "What's the Terminator?" I'm like, "Fuck you, get out of my face!" Like,
Yeah.
don't, like, there's some kids that their parents are just irresponsible human beings and they shouldn't have raised a child.
Bad parenting.
Yeah, if they didn't show
'cause
them
they're
the
at
Terminator.
work.
It makes me feel weird sometimes because I'm at school and I have like a very adult mindset. I see the world in a very different way than they do. And then I'll be talking to them. I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot you're like a child." Like,
Yeah.
I realize
Yeah.
that I'm a kid too, but like I don't think the way they do. And sometimes talking to them and it's weird.
Yeah,
because
you
then I
be an
have, like my
alien.
adult friends and then my child friends. And
Totally.
at some point, it's just gonna be a weird mix.
Do you
of-
find sometimes in conversation you're like, oh, I can't, because people are very politically correct.
Yeah.
And you say something, because comics, we really throw a lot of shit around.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all in jest and fun.
Well-
But people in general would overhear, like, I was at the all-you-can-eat sushi place with Boomer, and I sometimes, because I'm used to hanging with comics and I'm vile to begin with, I said, oh, I had this Snapchat, of these dumps, and this girl's getting her mouth hate fucked, and all these hipsters at the table next to us go. The girl just goes, her mouth
like my
drops,
ex.
and she turns like, "Oh my god!" And I'm dying. I'm falling on the chair. But have you said things at school?
Oh
where
yeah.
People were
oh
like,
my god.
"Oh no."
Yes, I've said
Josh.
some rough things. I've said God isn't real, he's dead in
Yeah.
science class because well, the teacher was talking about websites and she's like, "What makes this website not
Totally out of context. He just stands up. God is dead.
Not
Slams
like that.
a fucking dead frog on the science table and storms out of the room. Who does that?
I was
a
showing them
time
a
and place.
slideshow of ISIS and Hitler and the dominatrix event. But what happened was she's talking about websites now, and she says, "Why isn't this website credible?" And it mentioned God. I was like, because it mentions religion. And she's like, why?
Yeah.
Religion. I was like, because God isn't real and science is real. And she said, that's not true. I was like, yeah, God's probably dead. And she's like, just upset kids. I'll say like, oh, Jesus is probably like just a gay homophobe Nazi. And my friends will go, like some kids will go, whoa, don't say that.
They'll
What are you
defend
talking
the
about?"
fictitious.
Don't make fun of our hippie
Yeah.
who's probably a drug addict who
Isn't
lived
it-
a long time ago.
People tend to go defense on those things, and they've never even been to church. They're not like,
I know.
they're just for
They're just afraid that God is going to light them on fire with lightning.
I'll handle this, God. I'm going to be a good person.
There, yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. It's more about. I don't think
Hate,
they've even
hate.
Yeah.
Thanks, God, for killing my firstborn. It was
Yeah.
so nice of you.
Oh, take the life.
Oh my God. I hear in the Bible, this is actually in the Bible, God has a bear, a fucking grizzly bear, murder these boys because they made fun of a bald man. They made fun of a bald man. They're like, baldy. And then God's like, well, that means you're getting killed by a fucking grizzly bear. So
It happens all the time.
It's not real, obviously. It's like, thou shalt not steal the goat. Thou shalt not steal my neighbor's wife. Don't fuck her. Like, it's all tailored to one guy, what he wants you to do. Don't
Yeah.
steal my shit. Like, it's all fucking fake. I knew it was fake when it's like, oh yeah, women can be sold or something. That's in the Bible somewhere. It says women can be sold if they're raped or something. I don't know. Along those lines.
Oh, geez, the good old days, hey guys, when you
Yeah.
could sell a raped wife.
Yeah, when you could hang people from the trees. That was just.
But there is some aspects of organized religion, like I love like public executions.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
religions are like,
Ever
"We're
since
so
I seen
good."
Game of Thrones, I'm not
Oh
a
my
fucking nerdy.
God.
I just love. I've
Did
been
you watch it?
fantasizing about. No. I've only watched. I think only 2.5 seasons. So I'm really far behind. But I save those things because I do blocks. Like I'll be
Yeah.
stuck in a shitty town in a hotel, and I'll just lay there and piss in a bottle and watch everything. And then the maid
yeah.
comes in and washes around me with a stick.
of Thrones
But
is
the
sweet.
all the beheading stuff, I've been waking up in like a cold sweat because I had just all the people who fucked me over. I'm just chopping
I
their heads
know.
up one by one. Could you do it?
Kill somebody? I don't think I've hated. Is that what you asked?
No, I didn't
or
say
watch
that at all.
Netflix?
Oh
I thought-
fuck!
Are we? Does that mean we're starting?
No, Patrick just stumbled in. Why are your cuffs so high in your pants? Do they double as ashtrays? Oh.
It is.
5 minutes? Oh, who's headlining? Who's Jason Allen?
Jesus. Homeless. Jesus.
Oh, is he long hair guy?
Yeah.
Is he terrible?
No, he's good.
But I was thinking maybe do Mayce, Gavin, and you off the top.
Is Gavin here?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Maybe the three you off the top.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
In that order then.
what's happening? Mace, Gavin, and me?
Gavin, and you.
Perfect.
Cool.
Great.
How long do you want us to do each?
Whatever, like 5 to 7.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know if we need to keep it like super tight or.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve of mine. As no, but people who run the light.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And 99% of the time the guy's done anyway.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
Yeah.
I hate when they run the light and then they think they need to do more to get to end on a laugh. Like that's just for you.
They
to
already
show.
hate you. Yeah. It's self-indulgent.
For sure. Yeah, they think
You spoiled their whole night.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to do a smash and grab at the end.
Yeah.
See, I told you I would have been funny eventually. Let's
Yeah.
name names. Well, so you've been going on the road. Do you come back with stories
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Because you're middling, so you're doing like 30 minutes.
Yeah, like a lot of the times with the Yuck Yucks, it's like 20 to 25 minutes is the middle, and then if I'm hosting, it's like 30 minutes, broken up throughout the
I
night.
think at one time the shows were 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
No, now they keep them to like pretty
Like
close
the headliner
to 90
would
minutes.
always do 50, 30, and then 30. MC would do 30, 30, 50. So it'd be just like just under 2 hour show. I remember that a lot. Where the
Yeah.
headliner had to do a big, I think when I'd come up, and there was some really good comics.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they've either moved to England or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any Canadians I know of in New York. Yeah, there was a lot of better guys.
Yeah.
I think the gap after me and Gavin and Patterson and Zed Lacker, and there was maybe a handful of guys, and then there was the guys who were ahead of us that were headlining, that they all gone. They had to go on to better things.
Yeah.
And there was a big vacuum, and then a lot of crap just piled in. You guys got terrible role models.
Oh my god.
I think there are some.
Oh my God, you know exactly what I'm talking about,
Oh.
right?
I was gonna be positive.
Well,
I was gonna
yeah.
say there's some
Hey,
great.
I get it. I don't
Hamilton-
live here anymore. I can
Great
say.
morals. Like,
No.
You shouldn't have to delve down to morals for
Do you
something.
ever-
That's not what I'm saying. There are great stand-up comics. There are
Not
just
great lessons.
there are a ton though that I think are like. It always blows me away that there are some comics that want to do less time. Like when they find out they only have to do a certain amount, they're happy to get away with
wow,
less.
that's great. Now I can get out of here and do nothing.
Yeah, and it's strange to me. Like you're already here. Like I get it if it's like a shitty gig, like a really tough gig, and you're like, oh, I only have to do 15 minutes. Then that makes that's easier.
None
But
of them
like,
want to invest wholeheartedly into the performance of
Yeah.
it. Because they get caught up in so much of the distractions of the bullshit of the business, and then bring that to the gig, and it just sets a bad tone for the whole show.
And also, I think with Facebook and Twitter, it means like status means much more than
Likes.
just your own ability.
Yeah, clicks, man, clicks.
Yeah, like
are,
the whole point.
On your shit.
but I don't think there's any longevity in that.
No. I mean,
It's all looked as junk food.
I think that a lot of like comics get into it for the wrong reasons, like for fame, and then like the Facebook status stuff, like just that's like
Yeah.
a shortcut to that feeling.
Yes.
You gotta build it up though at some point.
Yeah, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with it, but when you put that
Coattails.
ahead of,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whether it be a celebrity or a famous comic or something, and there's a lot of holding on to it, and it's like you're really not contributing anything other than this, other than that you got in the door.
Yeah.
That TMZ end of things.
yeah, for sure.
It's very kind of tabloid.
Dun, dun.
It's very tabloid.
Yeah.
Driven kind of mechanics now, really, isn't it?
I don't get how they think they're good people. They're like, oh yeah, we're doing this and
But
this
there's
and that.
validation in that, and in
Yeah.
that world, that means everything, you know.
We caught him crying over his dead grandmother, and then we filmed him walking out of the fucking tombstone, and then we started harassing him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's insane, and that's people will watch it, and we're all subjected to that hot dog, but
yeah.
Whenever we phase out of a conversation, then we're just both looking at you in the fridge in the
intently like,
storage
"Hey,
room that
what's
we're
up?"
stuck in.
yeah, I know I got a
going?
bit of a reputation of freaking everyone out all the time.
Yeah, we're talking about Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Facebook. Here's the thing about the internet. You want to be popular on the internet more than anything. If you're in movies, anything, sometimes you could be in like a movie, right? Say it's not the fucking blockbuster movie, but no one will know of you ever. Like you can still be in a movie that goes in theaters, goes out, no one will know of you. You have you're one of those fucking Viners. More people know about you than that guy in
Oh,
the fucking movie.
I've seen it.
That's,
I've seen
you
it.
gotta get on social media because there's people who have no lives at all. I know this. I scroll through Facebook fucking hours. I'm like, what the fuck am I
Nothing.
doing? Turn it off. Like, there's people who will watch you for hours and hours and hours, and just because it's free, it's right there, it's available.
Cooking your food in the
They'll know
morning.
you. Yeah, I work to get people on my page and shit, like to see my stuff. I'll like share it all and all that shit because really what you want to do is you want to build a following, not just it will come over time, bigger and bigger. But you want to make sure you're staying active on those things so that they're not just
It's
going to go.
taking control of your
Yeah,
own
this
career,
guy's
too.
fucking gone. Like he's not saying anything. So I always post updates and all that, all the random shit.
Oh
they
yeah,
need.
yeah. And you
Harass
and
people to like it.
To ignore these platforms, that you're a fool. It's like being on horseback and watching a car go by and go, I'm gonna pass.
See, I don't know if I'm a bit of an old man then, but that
You
is
actually got more withery. I don't know. You got scoliosis as those words come out.
I know that it's good to do, but there's also I think that it depends on where you're at because I think that there's so much to learn in just stand up that to focus a lot of attention off the top
Well,
on other
stand-up
stuff.
survives without all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And to be distracted by it is to kind of to
Totally.
ignore that at the end of the day you're just trying to get good at this thing.
It's like customizing an exotic car. Like comedy already runs. It's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Audience, microphone, lights. That's it. That's all it needs. You don't even need the piano, but it shows up and it complements it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Yeah,
context.
sometimes.
You
All
know.
those singing comics. There's a lot of comics that will be like, I have a beautiful voice too. Not only am I funny, they'll like.
Yeah, that's annoying. When they have multi-talents and
Yeah.
it's a showcase. you
Like,
think
also,
you're-
I play the bongos here to make you laugh.
Yeah. yeah. Well, Kaufman was good at bongos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He could play the bongos constantly.
Huh.
Didn't you see Man on the Moon?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I know I should. I know it's like a classic.
Are you
but
guys
I'm just
Jim
kind of
Carrey
saving
fans?
it.
Kind of.
Who
Like-
are some of your favorites right now? Just
Right
in
now.
comedy in general, not necessarily stand-up.
Robin Williams, Louis C.K., and recently I've been watching George Carlin and Doug Stanhope because Mayce showed me him, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's pretty top.
That's cool.
Yep, mine are like Stanhope and Carlin and then like Brian Regan and like Greg Giraldo and those.
Attell?
I love Attell. He's awesome. He's great as like he's so funny. I really respect his joke writing. But
Are you familiar with Dave Attell at all?
Not really.
Get into it.
Okay.
He's as far as we're talking about joke structure and writing and stuff. He is a sniper.
Oh.
It's all.
I write so weirdly. Like it's not weird so much. It's different. Like there's a lot of comics that
Do you
will
like
think
long form stories and then
no,
start editing? Or
I like short, right to the punchline. Like not to the point where they can't relate to it's something happening to you or it's something that happened. It's just I feel like if you're at a comedy show and you're there for 15 minutes or 5 minutes, it shouldn't be like. Say you're there for 5 minutes, it shouldn't be 4 minutes of building up the joke and then you laugh at the 5th minute and then they're gone because they told a 5-minute joke. I like if it's 5 minutes, they're laughing every minute at a joke I've written for hours and hours and it's just there for them because I know what I'm supposed to do.
you know
So-
the mechanics of it.
Yeah,
through
it's
and
not
through.
so much as like a lot of comics want to go up there and tell their story. I'm just there to make people laugh. I'm there to make them like go out of there like that was funny. I feel better than the way I went in, like feeling like a piece of shit. Like I can use it for like, it's like people use it for like therapeutic reasons, but like when I go up there, I'm just being me. Like I'm projecting me onto them, but it's a different version of me. It's a version where I don't have all these fucked up things with my brain, right? I don't have anxiety. I don't have any of that shit. It's the person I wish that who I am on stage that I could be off stage. So I give that to
Alter
them.
ego.
Yeah, I'm fucking Spider-Man on stage, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm shooting different white stuff, but
Yeah.
I present
Oh,
myself to
that
them
was
in a
rude.
way.
No, sorry, audience. That was
was rude.
uncalled for. I'm actually a little put off. Do you mind if we pause this? I just threw up my mouth. What did you say? My mother listens to this. Other white stuff? We all know what you meant.
Yeah, cocaine.
They call him the cake
throw
decorator
cocaine
down at
into
the
the
fucking
crowd.
bathhouse. But I totally agree with you if I could remember what you were talking about.
Yeah.
One thing you're talking about was like word efficiency and getting straight to the point, and you guys are both very similar on that. Like, and that's why I'm blown away that you haven't watched Attell yet because you will love him. He just gets right to the point of the joke. He has little jokes hidden
Wilmot's
within
like
jokes.
that. Wilmot's like that.
Will-
There's some guys that just they lean hard on the audience. There's no
Yeah.
kind of like a courtship.
No.
they're just on you.
Yeah.
Ah!
Whenever Wilma does take a moment of like just building to something, I always get so excited because he rarely ever does that. It's so quick, like it's so
Yeah. And
You know.
it's great. I love seeing live comedy as much as I enjoy doing it. I really enjoy seeing it at its best. And
Like there's something you could watch a famous comedian, right? And he's fucking awesome. You're loving it. But when you see someone, even if they're like live and it's not as good, but it's still live comedy and they're still funny, you're like, this is better because I'm here and I can experience it as an audience member, as it's supposed to be experienced. Like, fuck, on stage, it's really odd for to feel the audience. You're like, are they liking the joke? Are they gonna? There's two things that can happen to me on stage. I can either walk up and they're like, he's young, I fucking hate him, or it's like a younger crowd or whatever, and they're like, oh, this is awesome, this is new.
Totally. And you've immediately got interest in you guys because of your age too.
Yeah.
You've already got their curiosity. That is a gift right out of the gate. To ignore that, and I know you both incorporate that in your shows.
Yeah.
You know, I create my own tension. You know, in a different approach, but the principle, because there's immediate identification. Like they immediately have an idea and a perception of you, and you can use that as to do some magic in their own minds.
Yeah, and it kind of just like anything that's novel brings them into the moment of like, wait, what? When they don't expect to see a 15-year-old walk up.
People actually
know?
sit up and they'll sit in their chair and go, oh,
Yeah.
watch this. You know, this is going to be either very good or terrible.
Yeah.
But either way,
They're-
the sickos will always perk up and take a better look.
Yeah.
Have you you were attacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Hamilton.
Yep.
And that's everyone who lives in Hamilton is going, of course. Anybody
Yeah, it was the
outside?
mayor, probably.
Well, let's maybe talk a little bit about this because there's some generational
Sure.
things here. I know you got to go. You can just wander off anytime you want. Josh has actually been carrying most of the show, so me and you are just tits on a bowl right now.
But you said let's talk about this because you both. That's what you said.
Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
This is a unique. I've traveled all over the world, and Hamilton is a very unique place, to say the least. It's fucking crazy.
It is.
Isn't it an insane place?
It
Like
is.
even now, and it's on the up and up.
What also is what's so weird about it is there's so many crazy.
I can see everyone's faces going. Just a flood of like crazy homeless people.
Yeah.
Late night mayhem, beatings, a lot of violent.
But the weirdest part is you get to know those crazy people.
Yes.
Especially doing this and doing
It's
open mics.
goddamn Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Yeah. Just the cast
Sesame
of
Street.
characters popping out of trash
Yeah.
cans and
Oscar's kind of like Manolis.
yeah.
Right? But the
Maybe Dan
newspapers-
Peters.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have a
okay.
place
I
left.
stand corrected, Dan Peters. And no, Manolis is more like Grover.
No, the Snuffleupagus.
Huh?
The Snuffleupagus.
Oh, yes!
That's Manolis.
That is Manolis is a Snuffleupagus. But he's always got an
He
erection.
doesn't really exist.
And it's
You don't know if
fluorescent
he's
green.
there. You don't know if he's actually there. You're like, am I actually looking at Manolis right now? He looks like
It's a
mystical
hallucination.
creature. He looks like something I would see after I've taken
From
mushrooms.
Narnia, it's Manolis. And
Yeah.
he's flying like the never-ending story, that dog. But beer
Manolis
cans are
looks
falling out
too
of his
good
pockets.
to be true. Like Manolis will just help you out for no reason. And it's like there's no way that's real. Like I'm tripping
Yeah.
out right now, right? He's like this mystical.
He's all heart. Everyone loves him. Him and Elroy. Have you met the Elroy?
I have met Elroy. Elroy told me about fucking ghosts in his
Yeah,
head.
yeah. He's
Talking about the Blues Brothers or no?
no. I have a friend who's like, I guess he's schizophrenic.
I would guess that
All
as
right,
well.
I'm no doctor,
yeah.
but he has sex with dead people.
No, he
Yeah.
masturbates
He's
in an attic.
told me that he's going to get video and show me, and I said, if he gets me a video of him banging a ghost, I will find $1 million for him. So I'll see you never.
You hang out with him quite a bit, though, right?
He's my childhood friend,
That's amazing.
and to the end of the world.
He's a great guy. Like
I
every time.
have a handful, maybe 4 people that I've known for like 30 plus years that are still kind of in my inner circles.
Yeah.
You know, Scott McDonald
Oh,
jerks
yeah,
off
yeah,
his
that guy's
dogs
great.
at Shea. Yeah. And Manolis and Elroy and a couple other people.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they're all characters. I hang out with a bunch of weirdos.
You do.
I have a.
That's weird that you aren't even the weirdest guy in your posse.
No, I'm usually the voice of reason in
Yeah.
most cases.
It freaked me out the first time that I sat down and had a real conversation with you because you seemed deranged, but
Yeah.
then you were just very. You could be very
There's a
adult
balance.
like.
There's a balance, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was very misguided and angry when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I was pushing out in a lot of directions constantly because I didn't know where I fit in. I my family all worked in a steel mill, and I'm like, I'm not even smart enough to push a broom. And I didn't have the schooled diploma even to go in. So it was like, where the fuck? I hate this. I hang out with skateboarders. I'm downtown. I hate school. Blah 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 blah. And then, the comedy was great. Yeah. It took me a while to kind of find my comfort zone and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. Yeah. But it's gave me so much peace of mind and oddly enough some balance. So
Yeah.
but I'm gonna bite a hole in your fucking face right now, you piece of shit.
Oh yeah. Just always.
Got ya! Oh, my glasses!
Found your comfort
You ever see
zone.
The Lost Boys, the vampire movie?
Which Lost Boys?
The more it was done in the 90s, I think.
Okay.
It was a vampire movie. It was really cool.
So not the ones on the milk cartons and
No, not the missing children.
no.
No.
Good. No one suspected.
Are you gonna have
them.
families? Don't have kids. Don't get anyone pregnant or you're fucked.
I follow the Manola Santanos method.
Oh yeah?
Condom every time, and I pull out before I ejaculate.
Oh really? Does he push on your ass and talk you through it? What the fuck is that? And the worst part is he held up his finger like he just told me a cure for cancer. A matter of fact, I know the cure. Dr. Zantanos over here in the wheelchair beating off into a cowboy hat.
It is the cure for kid cancer. You're not going to have a baby. So
No.
Kid cancer.
Kid cancer. My boomer calls them dream killers. Yeah.
I'm going to head out there.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayce.
Awesome.
That's great. Mayce is going to go, what are you doing? What kind of material are you going to do? Your hate crimes?
Probably just walk out on stage naked and put a match in my urethra.
Oh.
What?
Take one of your bits.
Hey, that's my closer.
We were all gonna do that.
My Urethra Franklin.
Yeah.
No.
You don't even know who Urethra Franklin is, do you?
I know who urethra. Actually, it's a black singer.
Yes. I think she was in the Supremes.
Well, now we're racist.
No.
I don't even know what the Supremes are.
The Supremes is a gay bar down on King and... Well, now he's gone. What a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, totally.
How do you handle working with him?
I don't know. I don't.
You don't work with him?
No.
I wouldn't.
I deface kiddens after shows and stuff. I'm like,
Deface kittens.
This is fucked.
Yeah, you can find that on the internet. I showed... I'd sent a video of a young lady with maggots crawling out of her vagina.
What?
Yeah. And this girl that I'd sent it to, she
didn't like that? That was...
No, she was just obsessed with how it came about. Like,
Yeah.
it looked like a dog's paw with rice in it.
Oh my god.
It was a bad vagina, rotten hole. But there's terrible things on the internet. You're pretty internet savvy.
Oh my god. There's like ISIS beheadings. Kids, I swear to God, in my class, they were watching ISIS beheading videos together as a group, like it was an event. I was like, what the fuck?
That's super extreme exposure.
I know. I'm
It's-
like, this is kids now. It's like they're like, oh my god, let me see. I'm like, you want to see some guy get run over by a fucking tank?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this isn't like a action movie. There's no one's gonna save him.
Because you're not emotionally attached to anything. It's just it's no.
They don't get it.
Infomercial. They totally
Yeah.
don't get it.
They don't get that it's fucking real.
Yeah.
They don't understand the severity of it.
Totally.
They're just like, oh yeah, it's just a video on the internet. There's a lot of videos on the internet. I'm like, yeah, but this one actually happened.
Yeah, this is not Andrew Lloyd Webber presents the beheadings, the
I know.
musical. You know, this is full on. Do you follow a lot of news?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play up the dumb character a lot. That's where I have to know where the character ends and where I'm gonna just like I be serious sometimes and I'll be like jokey and but I always end it
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
Like
I know
wish
exactly.
we're on stage. I'd say something. I wish I could tell the subway lady in real life to go fuck herself. Like you're a cunt, subway lady. Like
Yeah.
that's what I do on stage, but I won't. I would never do that in real life because I just would never talk to people at all. I hate talking to people.
Yeah.
Just in public.
You're.
If I don't know them, I'm like fuck off.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I've become more of a recluse as I've
Yeah.
gotten older, and I don't. I've got a friends. You know what I mean? I like to do my comedy and then hang
Yeah.
out with people I want to hang out with.
People are always surprised by how much I actually know compared to the fucking character I put on and how I act in public to what they say. I'll act like I don't know it just to like make a joke or something, and then later I'm talking about it with them and I do know it, and they're like, I don't understand.
Yeah, isn't it annoying too when people want to apply the character that they've seen on stage in the offstage
Yeah,
conversation?
they're like, that's totally you, and I'm like, that's not me.
No.
It's like
No.
different.
Yeah.
It's what I wish I could say, but it's not me. It's not going to be the person I'm going to talk to you as. I'm going to talk to you as a person, not as that person.
Totally, and it wouldn't work in a conversation.
Yeah.
You would it'd be,
Can't
it'd
be like,
on
so
the
I was going to
defense.
Walmart the other day, and
Yeah.
I walked into this lady. My tone and everything, it's odd when translated to normal conversations.
Yes, most definitely. And how did you stumble across the stand-up thing? You just saw it on the internet and thought
The stand-up
like-
thing, I was watching a lot of like Conan and stuff, just like late night where they'd have the stand-ups on, and I'd be like, oh my god, these guys are amazing, and then there'd be somewhere I'm like, these guys are shit. How did they even get on this show? And I'm like, I could write better jokes than them, so I did write jokes, and then I was like, fuck these guys. And then Patrick posted about amateur night. I was like, let's see if I can get on amateur night. So I wrote out a set, and then I went on amateur night, and I just did.
Did you tape your first show?
Yeah, I have it on YouTube. What I did was, the first time ever, I did a riff for like 15 minutes on just ideas I had. And then I went from there because at that point I wasn't afraid of bombing. I wasn't afraid of all these things that could happen now as a stand-up when I'm like, oh, I got to write this joke, do this like this, or it's going to fuck up. I was just doing...
Blind faith.
Yeah, I was just like this. Something about... one of my jokes was like Satan is gonna rape you or something if you don't like this post.
Yes.
Or something like that. And I was like, that's so like, and then I like go into it like I do like it because I'm like, I don't want Satan to rape me. So then my friend walks in the room, I'm like, fuck, don't fuck me in the ass, Satan. Something like that. And then
Do you get, because your content is very adult,
yeah.
do you get people that seem to want to come up and try and parent you because of...
Yeah, they're like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. I'm like, you're
Shut
a
up,
cunt.
fatso. Yeah.
Like,
Always
shut your
say
mouth.
shut up, fatso. Because cunt, it's a good hand grenade,
Yeah.
but all women think they're fat.
Yeah.
So you can just say fat, and then she'll take that home and commit suicide, hang herself in her basement. But her neck's so fat that it rips the board out from the floor.
Like, the thing I love is where a lot of comics... No, they're, like, afraid to yell at these, like, hecklers. These people who just think
Yeah, it's
they're
pussified.
self-entitled and think they're the shit.
I'll be the
Yeah,
hero
yeah.
here.
I'm the fucking
drunk
star of
and
the
I have no
show.
point of view, but I'm going to disrupt the
I know.
show because I heard a word. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk to them. I'll be like, sir, shut the fuck up. Like, and they're not expecting it from a fucking 15-year-old.
I saw that
Especially,
at Yuck Yucks. Those girls were piping up,
Yeah.
and you. But that's the thing. It was very clinical. You dealt with it, and you went back in. You
Yeah.
didn't get invested in it.
It wasn't like,
You weren't
let's
there was
tear
no
this person
emotion.
apart.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I was like,
It was
you're not worth it.
Shut up, dummy. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I'm working here, and you're clearly never been out in public before.
I know.
You're an
Because
animal.
Sometimes they're not worth it. You have to like show them you're not gonna be, because a lot of
Yeah,
comics.
you give them as much as
Yeah,
respect as they're giving
people
you.
think if they heckle you now, because of a lot of the comics who are like, I'm gonna go into this person, and they start making fun of them. I'm like, I am the star of the show. Oh my god. I'm like, no, fuck you. Get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
nobody cares about your life.
Yeah.
Like,
You're an
being a
idiot.
piece of shit. Like,
Your
it's
friends brought you home because you had an extra ticket. That's
Yeah.
all.
like Louis C.K. He says this is their like 15 minutes they'll get all day. Like, maybe all week. Maybe they're fucking like depressed and shit. They need this time
Oh.
to do the comedy.
And they can't
so they
contain
don't
it.
kill themselves or something,
Yeah.
or they don't. This is their time. This is the only time they get. Whereas you're happy all the time.
Yeah.
And you're coming to the show, and now you also want to be the center of attention at the show where they're supposed to be the center of attention for maybe once in the month or the week or whatever the fuck. And
Yeah,
you're
and
taking
they've
that from them.
invested nothing into it.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. Oh,
They're-
I rip.
They're
I don't
leaving
know
as
if
they
you've seen
came.
me lose my cool on stage with hecklers.
I know.
I go fucking bananas.
The thing I don't get about audience members is a lot of my friends, when they come, they're like, I don't want to sit up front. They'll make fun of me. I'm like, why can't you be a good sport about it? It's not like
Yeah.
they know
There's-
your
it's not
mother's
a
name and they're
physical
like, you know,
assault.
Janice, she's a
Yeah.
fucking whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slept with her last night. Like,
Even issues of like cancer and things like that. Even people have come up to me and go, blah, blah, blah. You know, something. to
yeah,
do with
don't
some
joke about
ailment.
that.
Yeah.
Don't joke about that.
It's
How
like
do you
we
deal
all-
with it then?
We all have somebody in our life that's dealt with cancer. So shut up. Don't bring your fucking
I know.
baggage to my
It's
house.
always the people who aren't supposed to be offended that get offended. It's always like white people. That's who gets offended. That's
White
the
people
majority.
are like the worst for
They
comedy.
reinvented the word offended. I don't think there's any ethnic group who's been a part of this joke who said, I'm offended. Like, it never happens. It's always white people. We always want to be like the people who are like important. Oh, we're offended. I'm
We'll
sorry.
set a global standard.
Yeah. I'm like, this joke was about native people.
Hipsters, we're
You
talking
killed
about
them.
you fucking assholes.
I know. I'm like, you can't be offended. This joke's about natives. You killed all the natives. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? I'm offended. Or like, I'm offended about a joke, a black joke. It's not making fun of black people, but it's like it delves into the
Race.
delves into race, and they're uncomfortable because it reminds them when their grandfathers owned people. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You can't be offended by
That's
that.
why I'm always
You have
suspect
to deal with that.
Of people who challenge over like pedophile
Yeah.
content, and it's like, I think you're a fucking child fucker.
Yeah.
You know
Why
what I
are you
mean?
offended
yeah,
by
why
this
are you
stuff?
so defensive?
I know. I love my one joke that makes the entire audience feel uncomfortable. It's where I will make a joke. I'll go like, is anyone else in the audience also interested in 15-year-old girls? And it makes everyone uncomfortable, but it always gets a good laugh. And I like it because it's such like a well-thought bit, because it's like, this is like one of the bits where it shows that I'm 15. Like, it makes the, because when I'm on stage, it breaks the gap between my age and their age, and then it brings it back to remind them that you're watching a 15-year-old. You're
Totally.
although you may
And they're
yeah.
reminiscing via you in some context or another with some of the subject matter and being a young person trying to do something cool.
Yeah.
Ideally, some people are rooting for you in their hearts, and there's other people going,
Yeah,
Where
they
does he
hate
get
me
the balls?
because I'm doing it.
Yes.
Because
Isn't that
I'm
a great
trying
feeling?
to make something
Isn't
of
that
my
a
life.
great feeling?
Yeah. I'm like,
Haters are perfect.
I know when someone hates me, I'm like, I don't hate anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
There's people who have like fucked me over hard, and I still can't bring myself to hate them. Even if I tried to, I'm just not that type of person that like. There's people I don't like hanging around because they're just not the person I think they should be.
Quality of
Yeah, they're
person.
not quality. Like but I don't hate them. Like, I don't wish like I hope that person fucking dies and people kill them or something.
Well, no,
Like,
it's lost energy and
yeah. I'm like, I'm not putting energy into actively hating someone. If someone hates me, I'm like, that's amazing. They like put their time into hating
Yeah,
me. I'm
nice.
important to this person.
Yes.
This is fucking awesome.
I didn't know they cared about me
I
enough
know.
to hate me.
Yeah.
How heartwarming.
You have to care about someone to some extent to hate them.
Yeah.
There has to be something in there that you hold on to. It takes some amount of caring to hate someone, because say like someone like they shot you or something, you would have to care a lot about them to hate them.
Sure.
Like, because if they shot you, you wouldn't be like, I fucking hate that dude forever. Eventually it would just be like,
I'm not that motivated
just
to
some
hate.
piece of shit. Yeah. I don't care. Like,
I
I'm too
don't
lazy
care.
to put energy into like.
I give zero fucks about
There's other people with
99%.
X's on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
there's-
Oh yeah. It's the obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comics that use some sort of dialogue or like a mantra of somebody or something that's done them wrong.
I know, they're
and
always
they
like,
just
oh.
rehatch it over and over and
Yeah, they're like,
over
poor
and
me,
over.
my father left me, this and that. I'm like, you can't just dwell over all that shit. You gotta be a person. You can't have
Stand
like
on your own 2 feet.
yeah, you can't have that define you as a person. Otherwise, you become when like you're that comic who does he does those fart jokes or he does those jokes about chickens or whatever. I'm that kid who just does jokes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not I do these jokes because every joke is different. I do terrorist jokes. I have some people, when I tell them this, I have a 10 minutes full on the Holocaust. They're like, that's terrible. I'm like, it's not terrible. that's what I'm dealing with in life. I'm not dealing with the Holocaust. I'm dealing with they're teaching me about it, and we have to look at these fucking brutal pictures, and that's one of the only ways to deal with it. I'm like making jokes to my buddies because I'm like, I don't want to like fully invest in this fucked up thing we're watching, so I'm gonna make a joke to him about this or that, and I can't say it out loud because then the teacher will be like, oh fucking shit, like.
Well, totally. You're again because you have your foot in these two different
Yeah.
rivers that you have to bring back. You have education from the social circles that you're in via stand-up comedy. So when you hear bullshit in the classroom, you're like, hold on.
I'm like, I can't.
What am I supposed to do
I
here?
need to
you
say
want to turn
something.
around the class and go, this is another one of the lies.
I know, like, it's such bullshit, some of the stuff we teach kids in classes. Like, oh, our home and native land. That's in our Canadian anthem, but we killed all the natives. I won't sing that at all, ever, because it's not true. Just be true to what the fuck happened. We had internment camps. We, in Canada, we're not amazing. We're not good. Like, as everyone always tries to say in all these different classes, my class tries to keep it like, yeah, Canada is terrible in some areas, but that's just the way it's gonna be. Like, especially with like Donald Trump and stuff. As a kid, like and as a comic, a lot of people have like this racism and stuff, and I'm like, that's just the news doing its job. You're supposed to feel this way for those people, and it's like a rerun of fucking World War II or like a reboot fucking with Donald Trump. It's like they're like, oh, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. But you're dealing with there's like satire racism, which is it's not racism. It's just satire because it's making fun of racism to the point where he can't be serious. Obviously, there's no way he's serious. And then it brings a light to those people who are actually saying real racism, and then you're relating it to that other stuff, and you're like, you're a fucking idiot. I heard how stupid it is. But people actually have this real racism. A lot of people, too. And it's still prevalent in our society today, which is why I do it a lot on stage. I do satire and, yeah.
You're smarter than anybody listening to the show right now.
Well, I feel like the only way to stop things from, like, becoming a majority of people thinking that is you need to make satire. I feel like satire is the smartest form of comedy you can do because there's people who take it for face value. They take it for, oh, he's being racist right now. That's how they take it. And that's fine because
watch
they're
Blazing
stupid.
Saddles.
Yeah, they're not in on it.
They're not in on it, and that's the problem. Some people aren't in on it, but I hope everyone who's listening is in on Mayce and Josh because they're good comics.
I'd agree with that.
Thanks for being on the show.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Well, Mayce couldn't come back. Mayce Galoli?
Galoni, I think.
Galoni?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, that's been the show. I'd like to thank Mayce Galoni for being on the show. He's on stage somewhere or in a local drive-through looking for customers. And Josh Kemp, where can people find you?
People can find me on, I'd say, Facebook.com/Josh Kemp is not there, and Instagram at the Josh Kemp. I think it's also at the Josh Kemp on Twitter. And someone took Josh Kemp, which pisses me off. I'm going to find that motherfucker.
.com?
No, joshkemp.com. So I have to have joshkemp.website if I even make it a fucking
that
website.
happened with Rogan. He has joerogan.net.
Yeah.
And the guy wanted like 30 grand or something.
No, I
for
like
it.
dot website. Sounds good. I'm probably going to make that website soon, but you could, but
Mayce, where can people
joshkemp.website.
find you? Oh, great. Get your cocks out, boys. You ever had red pubic hair in your mouth? Thanks for the blood and tears. Where can they get you, Mayce?
MaceGaloni.com, which is just MaceGaloni. And then there's like Facebook and Twitter and stuff.
Oh my god.
But it's all the same name.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Awesome.
I'm out.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?